Yo, guess we're about to play. Oh, brother. Yo. All right, let's do this. See what happens. Damn, are you hunting and pecking, you little bitch? I guess you're just hunting, not pecking. Guess we'll start with this. Yo, what are you doing? Pull up corridor. Or cortex. Why the fuck did I say corridor? Where's Cortex?
Fancy a bit of a blather?
Pick me, I'm so bored.
We've got a job to do, so shift your carcass.
And 3E shares the same SRAM bit set size as M5, but with less layers. That's very disappointing, as SRAM scale was one of the improvements that TSMC promised when they first released Node. In fact, they promised something like 20%, which turned out to be complete bullshit. Instead, SRAM use remained flat through the new iPhones are a clear indicator of how terrible TSMC's 3D nanometer is. At least in comparison to their nodes over the last decade. In fact, the competitive M3E has a completely new node compared to the crappy M3. If we look at M3E in a FinFlex
Might be something good that way.
we get density improvements of 56%, but at a 35% cost increase. So that's roughly a 50% cost per transistor.
Is anyone with us?
The worst ever scaling for a major process technology in more than 50 years.
Hello?
Yeah, that's how bad TSMC's 3nm is. The 2x2 and 3x3 implementations are even worse.
Hello?
Being either flat or negative, the saving grace being the speed improvement. I mean,
Again, no fucking likes, no one talks in this game.
Just staying on 5nm for Blackwell. In fact, I think
What are you, children with your parental fucking whatever
I
on?
guess seeing how close they have got to the 4090 in some instances, with their fantastic MCM design, I suppose Jensen's team did
2023 and you don't have a mic?
from TSMC, even if that means delaying the launch until M3E has matured, and we'll talk more about that in a second. So, the most likely scenario for the 5090 is a cut-down GB202 die that will be about 20 to 25% better than the 4090. So that's what you'll get, at most around 25%. For it to be 70% at 3nm, that would have to be a radical change to the GPU design. How radical? I covered NVIDIA's disaggregation strategy for data center and HPC in a past video. I'll link to that video in the description. It's quite good. And this new pattern I share today is in line with what I covered in that video. What's new is the 3D element.
Broke their shield now. They're throwing us in need.
One interesting solution that could
What's that spotted?
transfer issues is stacking the amount of logic. Like I said in that past video, we'll be looking at a difference of using 9 mods in a package like this at the XTX for Infinity Fabric at full use to only 2 mods on the
Reloaded.
350% better efficiency by using that music
Right here, he's hurt. Badly hurt. You gotta chase that guy. Go get him. Maybe one of you pick me up. Maybe.
Scrappy DP says,
Thank you, non-comsers.
Shut
up.
What? You're gonna say that now? I literally been asking for you to talk the whole time. That's what you're gonna come back with?
Bro, I'm a grown ass man. I ain't gotta fucking
Your
talk
verbal
to you.
game is so weak, buddy. Come on.
You fucking bitching like a little fucking kid. Shut the fuck up. Kill yourself.
Listen to you. Why wouldn't you just talk from the get-go and say, yeah, I got a mic. Hey, I got comms. Maybe communicate a little bit. Then you want to come back and be a bitch about it? You a little bitch. Listen to you.
Oh, you ain't no bitch. I'm a grown man. I can talk shit on the internet.
You're the one who said you were a grown man, bro. Obviously, I'm a grown man. No shit.
The games will dramatically decrease going forward because of Undead's Law. As I showed in this graph back when the 2080 Ti launched, it won't make much sense to NVIDIA at 256 RT cores, you're looking at about a 2 to 3% increase. Even at 512 RT cores, it would only yield a modest 4% increase or so, for a huge increase in die area dedicated to RT cores, as you can see in this chart. I suspect NVIDIA will instead add specialist hardware for something else. While very unlikely, moving the last level cache to standard chiplets could be a bold move that would reduce energy consumption while increasing cache significantly. Boy, I heard that people listening crazy like that. But that's the catch. Because TSMC's M3 is such a thing, our customers have decided to either stay 5nm
Listen up, I'm calling a lifeline packaging.
M3E in terms of volume will only be reasonably Arizona factory is complete. And all of this is happening during the AI bubble, remember, where NVIDIA, AMD, and Amazon are all waiting in line to produce more advanced AI chips to meet the crazy demand, according to a report from Taiwanese website Money.uk.
Enemy over there.
NVIDIA is already TSMC's largest CoWoS customer, so that's the chip on wafer and substrate packaging technology that allows for packages like the H100 GPU to exist. NVIDIA accounts for 60% of the CoWoS production capacity. Currently, TSMC can only produce 12,000 CoWoS units per month. That's to cover the A100, H100, and AMD's MI300, as well as Broadcom's and Amazon's own chips. To meet current demand, they will have to increase production to 30,000 CoWoS units a month. Only by the second half of 2024 will current demand be met at best. How on earth would there be capacity for an advanced package for the 5090 then? So, given all this, the most likely scenario is that NVIDIA will delay its high-end GPU release to early 2025 so that it can at least launch with a few units and at a tenable price. They will for sure tout massive performance gains, but they will be DLSS 3.5, 4, and ray tracing on very controlled scenarios. But the real gains will be at best around 25% versus the 4090. That could be a price increase to compensate for TSMC's high prices given the constrained capacity and high demand. But I doubt it will reach $2,000, especially given the poor performance increase. And I think once the capacity increases and the node matures, we will see a 5090 Ti with a GPU 202 fully enabled. Then we will see a super release on M3X, which will be the high-performance node that will collect all of this TSMC 390 mass, probably in 2026. AMD just doesn't have the clouds to get enough capacity to compete, even if they have a huge GPU coming. But their move to chiplets might prove effective, given that with less wafers, they will be getting more for their money, and they might get a larger slice of the market based on availability alone. Honestly, if I were in AMD's shoes, I would move the GPUs to Samsung and go all in with that. Kind of like what Nvidia did with the 3000 series with the mining boards at its peak. So unless Jensen has some crazy 3D stacked chiplets GPU coming, you better temper your expectations when it comes to the 5090. And by the way, this will be a long node, much like the 28nm days, except there's not enough capacity, not much of an improvement over the previous node, and there's some motivation from AMD and Nvidia to be making gaming GPUs when they can make way more money focusing on on AI. Sorry to bring yet more bad news, but someone has to put the brakes on the hype train. Subscribe so you don't miss my continued analysis of the semiconductor industry, and become a patron if you want to support independent, high-quality content on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and till the next one.
Eye sharp. The ring's near. Closing in 30. You kill leader. You data. 10 seconds till ring close.
Here's your birthday present.
Spectacles Tech News. Folks, I don't like to use my own story. You all know that. So it is with some hesitation I am going to decide to reveal my channel's dangly bits so that I might toot myself today. This is the monetization page for a YouTube video as it stands today, and these are my typical settings, set thusly because my MO for how I do YouTube is to generally not do things that I myself would not like or appreciate. I am not a big fan of ads, but I recognize that they help support many channels, including my own, so I do turn ads on. Skippable ads, that is, but I disable non-skippable ads as well as mid-rolls. And that's despite YouTube telling me many, many times that mid-rolls could make them, and me by extension, more money. But I hate it when a mid-roll pops up and interrupts a video almost as much as I hate non-skippable ads. But YouTube has decided that starting in November, they will make the call instead of me about what ads to serve. Now I can at least still opt out of mid-rolls, it seems, which I intend to do. But before these changes roll out, I wanted to apologize in advance to anyone who might get served a stupid long ad at the beginning of one of my videos starting next month, and to recommend Firefox Uwalk Origin for better control over how your eyeballs are sold on the internet. But thanks for letting me get that off my chest, and now, on with the tech news. Today's video is brought to you by Microsoft. This is one of my favorite places to buy PC parts. So if you're building or upgrading your PC, I highly recommend making your way down to one of their 25 retail stores in the US. They have consistently competitive prices and an excellent selection of PC hardware and other tech goods. And they have a custom PC builder on the Micro Center website. Use it to spec out your rig and it will show you parts in store at your nearest location while ensuring compatibility. Then you can pick up in store or have their pros assemble it for you. So click the sponsor link in the description to find a Micro Center near you. Speaking of tooting my own horn, did you note that I always put timestamps on all my videos too, with a chapter starting after my burned in ad integrations, so you can easily skip that as well? Double tap with 2 fingers to jump to the next chapter if you're on mobile. I talked last week about how there aren't a ton of big launches expected in Q4, but what launches might actually happen? Enthusiasts with deep pockets might be excited to hear that the Threadripper Pro 7000 series of CPUs are rumored to launch October 19th. These Zen 4-based processors, codenamed Storm Peak, will sport as many as 96 cores and 192 threads, 384 megabytes of cache, and 128 PCI Express Gen 5 lanes, combined with 8 or 4-channel DDR5 support via the new platform, which comes in TRX50 or WRX50 variants. But with the launch only about a week and a half away, there have been quite a few leakages of new motherboards, apart from an ASRock TRX50 model outed by EDC listings back in September. So don't be surprised if Threadripper Pro 7000 debuts as an OEM-only option, with DIY options limited to somewhere between 0 and none, unless you want to purchase and disassemble a $10,000 to $20,000 plus pre-built workstation from an enterprise integrator like Lenovo or HP. Last generation Threadripper Pro 5000 series CPUs were out for about 5 months via OEM before they were made available to the public as a standalone purchase, which is partially why pricing for the 7000 series is still a mystery. Consider that the Threadripper 5000 series flagship, the Ryzen Threadripper 5995WX, listed for $6,500 initially, and it still goes for over $6,000 today. So if this rumor is true, the launch will likely be subdued for the DIY crowd due to pricing and availability. But all that aside, I am still quite curious to see what the 96-core Threadripper Pro 7995WX can do. Another launch that could be happening soon is the Intel Arc A580, the middle child in the Arc lineup that has been notably missing since it was announced more than a year ago. Videocard.com went so far as
all your
to
shit
claim
should
that
still
the
be up
GPU
there.
had likely been shelved after it no-showed at Intel's Innovation Event in September, but hope has been renewed thanks to listings spotted by the nefarious Twitter user known as Momomo_US. One listing is from the German price comparison site Dealhaus, where an ASRock Challenger 18 model was found, and Smartphone apparently also shared images of their A580 fork with Videocard.com directly. Both GPUs are 2-fan, 2-slot cards with dual 8-pin PEG power connectors, despite their supposed 175-watt TDP. So now the real question, apart from the actual launch date of course, is how much these will cost, given that the ARC A750 has now seen sale prices below $200. If the A580 is $150 or even $170, it could become a go-to for entry-level builds. And it even has 8 GB of VRAM, just like NVIDIA's RTX 4060 Ti, which costs $400. It is perhaps a symptom of the lack of big PC hardware launches that I will now be talking about phones, specifically the Google Pixel 8.
I don't want to stay on this low ground. I'm going to try to get up there, but I think they're up there.
On Wednesday, along with an updated Pixel Watch 2, pricing $700 for the Pixel 8 and $1,000 for the 8 Pro, $100 more than the Pixel 7 one. But those phones weren't designed for the generative AI era, nor did they feature the latest Pixel G3 processor, which can do AI better, using AI or pictures, and hopefully use the term AI as the Pixel 8 sports a 6.1-inch 1080 by 2400 display with 2000 nits peak brightness. The 8 Pro is 6.8 inches, 1344 by 2992 resolution, and 2400 nits brightness. The temperature sensor is a unique feature on these phones, but I question just how close you need to get it to say boiling liquid to get an accurate reading, and there are some software tricks to pair with the updated camera, such as computational audio that can remove background noises from a video, such as a barking dog, or the best take photo replacement tool that can choose faces from a series of shots and swap them in so you can actually get a family photo and no one is using family photos. And while that feature itself probably makes it worth the price for some fans, I was most intrigued by Google's promise to provide 7 years of software updates for the Pixel 8, and not just security patches, but OS and feature updates as well. It seems like a push away from the trend of getting a new phone every year, which is why I will not be getting a Pixel 8, because I still have Speaking of things that work just fine, putting the shorter stories in the latter half of the show just kind of makes sense, since we have tech breaks. AMD's FSR3 with fluid motion frame, aka frame generation, debuted late last week without much in the way of official review, as it is still technically a preview release. But as we might have expected, Tim over at Hardware Unboxed posted an assessment of FSR3 on Friday, and it's not quite a glowing review. There are multiple frame pacing problems. VSync off is broken currently, and a variable refresh rate only really works if the output frame rate is higher than your monitor's refresh rate, really limiting potential useful applications depending on your hardware setup, refresh rate, and resolution, of course. And while FSR3's broad compatibility is helpful, NVIDIA still has an edge in response time, at least until AMD can get their anti-lag feature working properly with frame generation on. So let's hope AMD can fix what's ailing FSR3, and according to Frank from the Radeon team, updates are on the way soon. Godspeed. Here's another follow-up from last week. The French competition authority raided NVIDIA's offices over in the land of powdered croissants and marmalade last Wednesday, and now the EU is piling on with its own investigation, albeit an informal one. There are concerns about anti-competitive behaviors in the burgeoning AI chip arena, where NVIDIA is undoubtedly the frontrunner, but is NVIDIA's position simply the natural result of them kicking AI ass, or have they engaged in subterfuge and skullduggery to thwart their would-be competition? This certainly wouldn't be the first example of such behavior in the industry, if true. For example, only about 2 weeks ago, Intel was forced to finally pay a $400 million fine stemming from their anti-competitive practices, pushing AMD around, basically, between November 2002 and December 2006. So maybe in 20 years, NVIDIA will get what's coming to them as well. Allegedly. Here's a bit of industry news. According to the Korean business publication Chosunbiz, TSMC and Samsung are having problems with yields on their 3nm nodes. TSMC has between 3 and 5 3nm nodes going, and Samsung has 3. And while they've been up and running in some capacity for about a year, yields are still in the 50 to 60% range, with anything below 70% deemed very poor by industry standards. Time will tell if TSMC and Samsung can make the necessary tweaks to pump those yield numbers up, especially if we want to retain hope that next
why they're
gen
gluing shit
GPUs
together.
like NVIDIA's RTX 50 series
It's
will
not
be
why,
available
that's
to
part of the
use
reason why.
as they are rumored to make use of 3nm technology. Lastly, I want to inform you all of some sad news, and I know this will affect quite a few of my regular viewers. My friends, it saddens me to let you know that your first generation Apple smartwatches, and I know many of you sprung for the solid gold versions that went for $10,000 to $17,000, are now obsolete. Sure, you were likely disappointed when Apple discontinued software updates for these devices in 2018, only 3 years
The people who bought those things don't give a
but
fuck.
long-term plans
That's what
that
you
might
gotta
have included
understand.
reselling them for a tidy sum have now been dashed as well,
The people who are
leaving you
upset about
poor,
it
hapless
aren't the people
customers
who
who were
bought
able
them.
to afford spending 5 figures on a watch in 2015 out in the cold.
Here's a
I
good
guess
spot to
there's
touch
no
down.
recourse now except to package those tragic paperweights up and ship them over to my P.O. box, which is listed in the video's description.
This might be a
because
good
while your
place.
Apple Watch might be
Here we
worthless
go.
now,
It's a
I
long
guarantee
drop.
that my gratitude to you, much like the armband and several other choice components on that watch, is worth its weight in gold. So there you have it, guys. Tech news for the weekend. If you liked it, click that like button. Or leave me a comment down below. While you're down there, all the articles I talked about today are linked in the video's description if you're interested. And you can check out my store at paulshardware.net for high-quality merchandise, t-shirts, hoodies, beer sets, and more. Subscribing to my channel is always good help. Thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you next week. Hi, welcome back to another video. We are in the beautiful UK, as you can see, you're greeted by nice UK weather, with a little bit of wind and a little bit of rain, and I think it's understandably fine. But we are going to visit this fascinating data center behind me, which is a new place from Jonas. We are in Worcester, the city that's pronounced completely different than what it's written. That should be really cool, but I think we will just hop inside because, yeah, this is the reason. The reason why we are again visiting a data center were mainly your comments. By
Here
now,
we go.
we've
45 seconds.
different
Flatline
cultures,
here.
different data center providers, just get an overview of how different data centers
Lakia.
are built and what these specific companies are experts. And after doing multiple
Only
of these
30
videos,
seconds left
we
on the
often
clock.
have
The
feedback
ring's
about
close.
like
Pass me that
is
shit.
the speed of the servers we use and where does the energy come from? How can you make this kind of energy more sustainable? So with that feedback, we reached out to Jonas again because we just shot a video with Jonas in Germany, and they said, yeah,
Rings around the corner, 10 left.
something like that in the
Shotgun
UK.
bolt here.
And
Level
that's
3.
how we ended up here. And one of the most modern data centers in existence right now, it's a tier 4 data center, which is also the highest certification you can get for
Rings
for,
moving.
like data center. But in today's video, we will not focus so much about the servers. Like we have a Dell EMC for data storage right here, and there's a huge amount of SSDs right next to me, and obviously a lot of different Intel servers and
Keep
AMD
eyes on the
servers
new
and all
kill
of that.
leader.
We will not cover this in big detail today.
Pass me that
Today
sugar.
is going to be about how could you run a data center as sustainable as possible. Right now we are in another cold aisle, and left and right of me we have all those bare metal servers that are also
Incoming care
designed by Ionos. We just visited them in Germany for a different data center tour. Unfortunately, we didn't have that video in English. You can still check it out
Care
in the
package
German
over
channel
there.
with subtitles, I guess. But all these bare metal servers right here are also
Care package over there.
designed by Ionos, so they use their own rack design and own server design to make sure they use the space as sufficient and efficient
Who's
as
ready to
possible.
fly on a zip
One
line?
of these racks right
I
here
am.
can be supplied with a maximum of 11 kilowatt of energy. We have 2 huge server rooms in this data center right now, and each of the rooms can be supplied with about 650 kilowatts. So a total of about 1.3
Got some
megawatts
extra
for the
supplies.
entire data center which we're visiting
Phoenix
today.
kit here.
And we will now jump into where does this energy come from. We're starting right from the beginning. Next to me we have huge circuit breakers. and they are delivering 11 kilowatt, so 11,000 volts from outside to the building.
Phoenix
That
kit here.
goes through those
Extension light back here.
and then
Level
to the
2.
transformers. Those 11,000 volts will then be transformed with this transformer from 11,000 to
Shield
400.
battery here.
And this has a capacity or power
Let's go
of
this
about
way.
500 kilowatts. And just so you have a bit better orientation of what we just
Level
looked at,
2.
how it looks here. So we just started in the building outside. That's where the 11,000 kilowatts arrive. They go all the way underground. And here they
All
arrive
in a
here.
lifeline
Optics here.
package.
Close
This
range.
red thick cable underneath me. And if you follow this,
Heavy ammo here.
then go all the way to where we just been in the transformer building.
Helmet here.
This Tier 4 certification, what I talked about earlier, with this
Never
99.995
mind.
availability, it's something you can only get if you can maintain full availability, and that starts with the infrastructure. That's also
Might be
why
something done
everything
this
you
way.
can see right here with the circuit breakers, and then starts with the transformers, all of this also exists on the other side of the building. Again, full scale. This will be from a different energy supplier with a different power line and everything, to make sure that if something happens that may not even related to the data center, then they can make sure
Evo
that they
shield
always
here.
have
Level
power.
2.
And in case power fails, you obviously have to make sure that you can maintain power in case of a power outage.
Optics here.
And that's why you
Mid-range.
have all those generators right here. And typically in such data centers you would have diesel generators. They kind of are diesel generators, but they use a very interesting fuel. In case power fails and the generators are required to start, there is a small gap that it takes for them
Let's
to
head
be
in that
on
direction,
full
darlings.
power, and that's typically between 30 and 60 seconds. And to make sure that the power will not be out for 30 or 60 seconds, we have
Using
the
grapple.
UPS. And part of UPS are the batteries.
Car batteries.
We have one
I got
right
some
here.
materials for us.
The entire data center is
Got some
running on
materials
full load,
for us.
can run about
Champion
20
out.
minutes just on batteries. And obviously, this is not a huge amount of batteries next to me, because this room right here, where we're standing in right now and filming, exists 8
Using
times,
grapple.
8 UPS rooms. And only 4 of them are technically required to make sure that the data center is running.
Got
So
to do some crafting, dear.
technically, 4 of them could fail and nothing
Crafting.
would be a problem.
1 minute, friends.
In this current setup, the energy is always flowing through the batteries, like all the time. And Ionos has some internal workshops where they're currently trying to
Hostile over
improve
there.
the efficiency of the data centers so they consume less power to just save energy. And one of the projects right now is to change the system, to change from running through the batteries all the time to something like a parallel operation. I'm
Of
not
the
sure how
squads
technically
left.
this works, but they're going to change it to make sure it's even more efficient.
Delivering
And right next to me,
relegator.
we can take a look at this UPS. If we take a photo of this, it tells us that it's running on 20% load, which is about 57 kilowatts.
Come and get your birthday
Or
present.
59 kilowatts. And we can check that with this kind of load, which is about a fourth of what it has, the battery will just last 1 hour and
Evo
12
shield here.
minutes if
Level
required.
2.
And obviously, again, everything is about that.
Jesus Christ,
Those
vultures.
technically for a reason, I would call them massive radiators. They're not really ACs because they don't cool down inside, but they're supplied with cold water from
That way
outside.
calls to me.
And this cold
Wait,
water
now,
is
I'm
used to
crafting.
chill the room.
Hostile over there.
On everything which we're looking at, all the devices, you have different color coding. So on this one we have red color coding, this one we have the green color coding, and that's always for redundancy in case if one of those cooling units for whatever reason fails, because also the UPS has to be cooled
Ultimate
and the
accelerant here.
batteries. Well, the batteries technically might also be necessary to heat them up because we don't want them
Hostile
to be too
spotted.
cold. We want to make sure that they're always at room temperature because cold batteries have less capacity and are more easy to damage than if they run at the required temperature.
Where's the
And you
accelerant?
can also take a look at this right here. Here you can
Let's
see
explore
that we
this
run
way.
on about 60% humidity inside here, and the cold air that is used from the cold water
Ultimate
inside
accelerant
is
here.
supplied with 22.3 degrees Celsius, and the returned warm air after the
Thank you.
from UPS and the rest in this room.
Good
will
communication,
come back
even
to
though you don't talk.
2.8 degrees Celsius. These rooms obviously also are equipped with
Sure
a lot
why,
of
it's
different
2023 and we're not
detection
using
systems,
mics.
systems. For example, on top right here, this is part of
Watch out, darling. Body in your
We're all inside the ring.
air and then constantly detect if there's any there are specific particles in there to detect if something starts to burn before it actually starts to burn. Technically, those devices can even detect if the capacitor goes up. This also exists in all the different rooms, but we will
Just giving
use
my
this
shields a
already
recharge.
showed this in a lot of different videos in the past.
Looks like a kid.
We're back now,
Coming in.
sunshine, beautiful, and we're standing right next to the generator, and this is actually a bit smaller than what we
Recharging my shields.
saw in the previous video that we were in Berlin. It's only about 550 kilowatts of power, but especially in terms of the fuel.
What?
And a hydrated plant oil means that it's any kind of oil fat that can be used, like leftovers from restaurants, or like any kind of plant oil you can use, and you treat it with hydrogen, which is required because any kind of natural oil contains oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur maybe, and this is everything that you don't want inside a fuel, like compared to a diesel. And that's why it's treated with hydrogen to remove all of those particles. For example, the oxygen will be bound with the hydrogen, and then it will just be H2O, and then that will be removed later on. And this way you clean any kind of natural oil, and it will have the same kind of burning properties like a diesel. And what I find fascinating about this is if you
Conduct the experiment, or become it. They're not gonna know what hit them.
We've got a job to do, so shift your carcass.
Introducing your champion.
I work hard for the money.
I'm the jump master.
Don't come the raw prawn with me.
As Jump Master, I'll decide on a course of action.
This generator never runs. Ideally, there is never a power outage.
Get ready.
All right, hope you're ready. Let's do this, brothers.
Which means that they still spend a lot of time and money and effort to have this like CO2 neutral, like just sustainable. Even though they might never use it, and that's the spirit I find so fascinating about this data center. Because just looking at the scale, it's a smaller data center, but the amount of effort they put in even into those tiny details, in this case the HVO, to make it more sustainable, is definitely interesting. This tank has a capacity of about 7,700 liters, which is fine for a constant use full load of 3 days. But obviously, as a tier for data centers, they have their contracts, they have their fuel suppliers, so in case the generator starts running, they just go on the phone, call the fuel supplier, and it takes a few hours for them to get a lot of trucks lining up here, so they can theoretically run for an infinite amount of time just on this fuel.
Rings closing
One
in
thing
one.
that those buildings, data centers usually have is space, especially on the roof. And in some of the previous videos, people were wondering why was the space not used?
Does anyone have a grenade?
The battle happens quick. Be ready.
45 seconds remain. The ring is some distance.
More than 1,000 modules allowed to compensate a lot of the power
Check.
consumption, especially
Explosive
in
hold
summer
here.
when you have
Who's
high
got the
temperatures
goods
and you
to
have
pop
high
it?
cooling needs. directly on site.
Check it.
And compared
Explosive
to
hold
full
here.
year,
Who's got
they
the
can
goods
produce
department?
more than 10%
Not far
of
from
their
the ring.
own
Half a minute.
output
He's got a grenade.
directly with the photovoltaic system, which is equipped with a peak performance of 524 kilowatts. And as a comparison, that is more than what 50 normal houses would provide if they are equipped with a photovoltaic system. The focus of Ionos on sustainability already started in the framing phase of the entire building. So just the steel frame itself was also involved, because this steel is carbon neutrally produced. This entire thing, the entire building, it's surprising what kind of level they pay attention to. It's basically just some place where you can store your bike, some grades, for example, and then somebody decided to put these things here, which is basically to, provide some shelter for insects. Kind of fascinating. I mean, I tried to find
Trader427 says, just go craft.
Near the data center, but I think it's just interesting to see what kind of little things you could do in theory. The DC voltage which is generated on the roof comes down through the wires in this shielding on the wall, and then comes down in the individual DC wires, and then just goes into here, which is just a normal inverter, then converting DC to AC 400 volt again, and the 400 volt, those are those big lines, power lines, going all the way on the bottom. They will go around the building here, and then will be fed into the system. We just left the UPS room, and you will remember the big chambers in the background where I was explaining that they are responsible for cooling down the air. And that is also what we can monitor on here. Obviously, they have different kind of overlays and different kind of monitoring levels, so they're monitoring everything that's about the infrastructure when it comes to electricity and the cooling, and also just things like that. And for example, right here, this would be one of those chambers that were just standing behind us, and then you can monitor the temperature, the cold air intake, or water temperature, humidity, because they have to make sure that over the day, all the time, there are the same conditions inside the data center. And you also saw it in the video that it's colder in the morning, there's fluctuating, and you have to balance. You have to make sure that you control accordingly, that you have the same conditions inside, no matter what happens outside. Same goes for the cooling. On some days you might have free cooling, some days it might be too warm, and you need the chillers to cool down the water in addition. And that's why we're going to pop outside through those chillers. We are now back outside, but on the different side. So that's the stuff we haven't seen yet, but I also want to show that this actually exists. And if we go down here, we have the pipes, the cold water pipes. So that's where the cool water exits the data center.
It's not going to make me go any faster.
Goes through those chambers and through the heat exchanger.
In fact, it's going to make me not go
back
there.
slightly warm. So enters here at about 20 degrees Celsius and comes back out like, I don't know, 23 degrees Celsius maybe. And then right here we have a chiller that is responsible for cooling down the water. And it depends on the outside temperature if this is running on free cooling or just the normal chiller mode. Obviously, you would always want to use the free cooling mode, which means that you're just cooling down the water directly over the cold air that's outside with the ambient temperature.
Got some materials here.
About 19.5 degrees Celsius, then the chillers have to run in the normal chiller mode. And one interesting aspect about this was again the Tier 4 certification. That's where this big thing comes into play. That is a huge reservoir, and I just thought it would be a normal reservoir for maybe the entire water loop that's maybe necessary. But I mean, this is already quadruple redundant. With the fails, there are still a lot of other skills that if something goes wrong. But also, if there's nothing else left, then there's this big tank that contains cold water, which is usually inside the cold water loop. If everything fails, this can be used again to cool the chiller, if that's necessary. Like if everything
Trader427 says, NCE. Trader427 says, nice.
Continue on this side, that's exactly what I was talking about. This is already what we've seen on the other side. Double exists from here, and it already doubled exists on this side. So we have everything. We have those tanks, we have the chillers, and we have the generators that are again, or theoretically would be powered with the hydrated plant oil that's sitting inside those tanks. You have the transformers and everything. Yeah, it just exists a huge amount of times just for the tier 4. Now switching back to the solar production.
Longbow here.
First they have
Master
this
here.
nice slide that shows how much power they
Shield
produce
battery
over
here.
roughly the previous year, because the building is roughly a year old. And you can see they used 87
New kill leader.
megawatt hours
Go on,
with
watch
the
out.
solar system on the roof.
Come
And that's
Save.
almost covering a huge amount of what they're
Hemlock
actually
here.
consuming.
Got some extra supplies.
Now they provided another
Phoenix
very
kit,
nice chart
med
to
kit
us
here.
that shows the power production of the solar panels on the roof. Because you've seen in our previous footage of probably for you today, but we were filming on 2 days, and on the first day the weather was not great, as you could see. Like, it was fully cloudy, not a single piece of sun was visible, and you might think that it's not really useful to have a solar panel on the roof in that case, but that's not true, because even at that day, because that's why we pulled exactly that data,
Let's
you
explore
can see
that.
we had a peak
Enemy
production
over
of
there.
100 kilowatts. And if you think about the cooling requirements, which you just showed with the chillers and everything,
Be nice if you guys
on a
got to
full
me.
cloudy day, you can cover the chiller load just
Barrel
with
stabilizer
the
here.
solar
Level
panels on the
1.
roof. And then if you transition to a warmer and sunnier day, let's say for about a week ago,
Help run if you
they
need
had
it.
during the day
Shield
about
battery
200
here.
kilowatts. And even
Extended
during the
heavy
day,
mag
average
here.
was
Level 2.
50, maybe 200.
We're close.
And
30
they
seconds.
even had days of about 400 kilowatts where they even had
Shield battery
to
here.
throttle down the power of the solar panel
Barrel
because they are
stabilizer
not
here.
allowed to
Level 1.
produce more than what they actually consume. They cannot feed it back into this in the external system. And that shows that having such a
Optics
system
here.
on the roof is
Extended
definitely
heavy
something
mag
that's
here. Level
really good
2.
to have, and
10
should be
seconds,
something
right next
that have for the future. Especially if we look at this nice data on the bottom,
Rampage
they
here.
also kind of calculated how much CO2 emissions is saved, and they have a figure of 82 tons equals 5,000 planted
Rampage
trees.
here.
Not sure how that's calculated, but I did a quick calculation of the 82 tons of CO2 emissions. If you take a normal Volkswagen Golf, and that consumes about 140 grams per kilometer that you drive it. For 82 tons, you can drive around the Earth about 15 times. Just to give you an estimate
Explosive
of how
holes
much
here.
CO2
Who's got
emissions
the
they
goods
already
to
saved
pop
the
it?
first year, and then still take into account that the first year, I mean, they're not really utilizing the building fully, and especially long term, if you think about that, such a building will run for tens of years, I don't know, 20, 30,
Looks
40
unlooted
years,
over here.
I'm not sure, but for the full life that the building is used, and the solar panels are used on the roof, we save a huge amount of emissions, especially during like hot summer days where more cooling is required and you have a lot of sun. You can counteract all the increasing power draw of the building, which is a really cool thing. So much
R99
about
here.
this data center tool, which was not so much about the data and the servers, but much more about
Come and
the
get your birthday
infrastructure and
present.
how you can make this entire topic more sustainable for the future. Because that's what I'm ready with. So many moments under our previous data center storage. That's why we shot this video.
Evo shield here.
Collaboration with
Level 2.
Fiona. So thank you again for having us and being so open and showing everything, even live power consumption numbers, stuff which you don't usually see, which was amazing for us. And also, this should be very
Hemlock
interesting for the future, because right here I have some service customers, and right now I'm getting all the warm air blowing into my face.
1 minute to
But
ring
when
close.
you see on this side, everything is empty, because I said right now it's only half populated. And
Got a
yours is
replicator
right now
coming
working
down.
onto,
Backpack here.
also
Level 2.
going into water-cooled servers, which will also open up more possibilities. Because right now, the hot air that is coming from the servers cannot really be reused, because the air is warm, but not hot enough to maybe utilize it for something else. This can be different with water-cooled servers, which is also something else they're looking into, and probably something
30
we're also
seconds,
looking
rings
into
close.
once they have it up and running. That should be interesting. And apart from that, I think what kind of ways you can find to make a data center more sustainable with the solar panels on the roof and having
Whole team here. Whole team here.
come together, and that's probably how the future is going to be for data centers. Yours is also using 100% green or renewable electricity for their server farms right now, and they're also committed to fully reduce their carbon
me try to flank 'em.
emissions by 2030, and that's probably
We find
where the
ourselves
future
inside
will
an
be
extreme.
and their hosts.
How serendipitous.
So much about this for like video focused videos.
Got some materials
Thanks
here.
for tuning in. Till next time. Bye bye.
Check it. Got some materials for us.
Gas trap deployed.
Check it. Got some materials for us.
Gas trap.
Where the fuck did they go?
Calling in a lifeline package.
Well, save 30% off of everything. Details at the end of the video.
Evo shield here. Level 3.
Thank you.
Whatever your budget can hold. I mean, that's without a specific.
Gas trap deployed.
I've used a wide variety of
A second squad is
I
firing
am
at us.
100% on board with. There was a
Squad.
Pulling the airstrike.
No, an RXC. That's
Just giving my shields a recharge.
Ryzen 5600 X's and are happy with it, great.
Recharging shields.
You know what, if you're happy with it, it does the job, it works. I do not mind modest, hardware that does the job for
They're above us. We're gonna stay here.
However, then you bring the words heavy workload, premium high-level gaming, 4K,
Closing.
240 hertz, OLED. You know, once you go to that level, there's an i9-13900K and there's a Ryzen 9 7950X3D. Run, don't walk, don't pass, don't so somebody says, I want to be able to run 4K, or I want to be able to run 1440p ultra wide at 240 hertz. Okay? There's
Enemy taken out.
you don't need one because you don't need
You know it just us. We got to watch each other's back.
if you want to drive somewhere.
Listen up, I'm getting shot at.
Oh shit, there's two. What the fuck? No communication. God damn it.
But if you
I'm done with this game. You guys suck. Zero communication, no mics, nothing.
Thanks.
So if you're a premium user, just buy the premium stuff. Do not listen to average reviews that say, "Oh yeah."
The legend. Oh shit. When are you here? My bad.
People who don't have the money for premium stuff, and there's nothing wrong with it. You're not bad. There's nothing wrong with anybody who has mid-level hardware. But if you've got the money,
What time is
and
it?
you want
0046.
don't.
Oh, that was a while ago. My bad, big baby. I'm sorry.
Buy $1,200 RTX 4080s drive me nuts. The minute you're buying a $1,200 video card, buy a 4080. Oh, but it's so much money. Don't even start. You're spending $1,200 on a video card. Just buy the 4090. The 4080 is dumb. A 6700 XT is a good deal, a 6800 is a good deal, or a 4090 is a good deal. All the middle stuff is kind of dumb. Anyway, eWin Racing has a wide selection of chairs to fit all shapes and sizes of gamers, ranging from petite to cuddly. They have something for every type of gamer. Not just sizes, but colors and material options as well, including red, blue, purple, pink, orange, and more.
I'm assuming he ain't not here no more. I'm not good at watching that shit while I'm playing. I'm not a chat monitor. I need to get one of them fucking bings when the fucking message comes through.
Special offer just for Tech Deals viewers.
Save 30% off of
Perhaps I
everything
can do
using
that.
discount code TechDeals using our link
Perhaps.
in the video description. We have
Settings.
used
Can I
Ewin
get it to
gaming
be a
chairs
Bing?
for 3 years in our office, sitting on them for up to 8-hour marathon live streams. They are very comfortable, and we are happy to work with Ewin to bring you this special discount and recommend Ewin for all of your gaming chair and desk needs.
Nope. It cannot have an automatic sound.
I've been watching a lot of Counter-Strike as of lately, guys, and just trying to find some cool moments as a ton of people continue to talk about the game. Trainwreck continues to make some offers this time around to some Counter-Strike lads. Also some lads who maybe have been dabbling in the Valorant side of things, so let's break it down. Also a huge shout out to our esports betting sponsor, that being Thunderpick, who has partnered up with us for games like CSGO. If you do decide to bet, please be responsible. 18 plus only. Speaking of which, when it comes to Train, we have talked about all of the kick deals he has offered to top streamers out there like Dr. Disrespect, Tim the Tatman, Nick Merckx. He wants everyone, including Hiko and Young Stewie 2K. Here it is.
Spender, they call me. The spender. Playing a 7K lobby with 13K, tell me how it's hard. I mean, even when you watch like 8. Holy shit. This is my first day playing. I was sick last week. Wait, really? I thought you invited me like 2 days ago. When did you get on last week? Something about the fact that made of money. You should 150 every day you wake up. Kurtesis, tier 1, 36 years. Thank you so much, man. Quartz, tier 1, 18. What's up, Aaron? How we doing today? Did you make it back home safe? Nothing. Yeah. Fitting title for Train. What does it say? CS version 2. If you ever need a deal, you let me know, brother. I'll get you connected, you know? For sure. Let me know. Yeah, and it's non-exclusive. You can stay with your Twitch boys as well. I'll get my people in contact with your people. I can just connect you and your people, and we can just let it be automated. Sure. Let's do it. Yeah. That goes for all the team back sick of the dog. Sorry. I gotta pee. On there. I go pee. I can sell that. I go pee. Be the greatest CS player. And I know Olaf, Forrest, I know Cav, I know all those guys. And I'm telling you, you're the greatest. I don't know. Only sometimes I said, what did I do? You know, keep out the presents you after the sleep, have to open it right away, okay? Okay, I'll go fuck myself, no big deal.
And also throughout this entire stream, he was just gifting these guys 100 subs at a time if they clutched out rounds. I believe it was Hiko and Stewie in back-to-back rounds were clutching. It was just like 1v1s and 1v2s. And which for a pro player, right? Former pro players ain't that bad. For me, it's impossible. But just gifting out 100 subs at a time, even eventually later in the stream, giving Hiko a cobblestone package. He does this every stream. He just gives thousands of dollars away in donations, subs, bits, dollars, skins, whatever. Hiko opened it. You guys already know what happened.
Bro, I'm actually kind of like, I'm actually nervous about this. I'm not, whatever you guys have, I'll do it. I'm actually so nervous. Look, I've never had good streamer luck, but
match
if there's ever
found
a time for streamer luck to kick in, out of all the years of me streaming, it's now. This is a $1,500 case. I have an option to get, if I get the Dragon Lore, Train said it's like 500K for it. I'm like shaking, bro. I'm actually shaking. Come on. Ready? Here we go.
After this one, we're going back to a different one.
But regardless, back to the main point, him just saying, hey, Stewie, like, I know all the best CS players. You are also one of the best, which is true, one of the best all time in NA. Shout out to Stewie, what he's done will never be forgotten. Also, Hiko, one of the guys who actually got me into Counter-Strike, just casually in the call, he is offering all of these streamers to come to Kick, and we'll see if they actually do. I have been very, not concerned, but interested in this Kick versus Twitch debate, which I will say, in my opinion, has lost a lot of steam as of late. Well, what do you guys think? And it's ever since they announced they had these 1,100K contracts and $101 million contracts, I feel like we haven't seen a lot of movement. I know they've been diversifying a lot of IRL content, a lot of international streamers, but for me, the one thing missing is what Train keeps on offering is the gamers. I feel like Kick has like zero, or very, very few gamers like that of Hiko and Stewie, and the ones who actually grind out games non-stop. And I feel like they're missing it, and maybe Train knows it, and I hope some of these guys actually take the deals that are offered. It does make me wonder, though, why are some of them not taking those deals? Regardless, though, it's one call that Train has now offered Stewie, 2K, and Hiko to come to Kick. Will they accept? Maybe we'll find out in the future. So next time, hope you guys all enjoy. Speaking of the devil at Kick, if you guys want to follow us, we stream there every single day, talking and breaking down the news. If you guys want to come in there and make a comment about my long neck or make fun of me, that's also allowed. We have a Discord and everything else down below. Till then, take care. Drink up for me. Coffee and water. We'll see you soon.
Serena prepares on the other side. Kill her before she becomes monstrous.
What? You didn't know that? You have an engineering degree and you're this stupid?
I mean, his fucking reactions like, I ain't saying shit to that.
Emery talks about a hypnotist friend that she met on Facebook.
You're feeling very relaxed. You like type all these things. It was relaxing. I wasn't getting hypnotized, obviously, but I could tell that he was like very invested in it and felt like it was very real. But I was like, oh, he's my friend and like he's nice or whatever. So for like a year, I knew him, right? Enemy spotted mid. Whenever I was stressed, and it would do this like help me fall asleep or whatever. And then one day, after a year of knowing this person, he's doing this regular hypnosis thing, right? And then the script is a little bit different. He's like.
Eliminate.
You are my slave. You are my slave, and I was like.
They're on TV, 700,000 followers on Twitch. Now yesterday he went over on social media, but he not live on Twitch when person.
Last player standing.
What the fuck?
It got shared all over Twitter. I wonder some
Clutch.
I will put their Viper down. It is mercy.
That was with an TV responds on his Twitter page saying that just me versus 3 guns. Prime example why I'll always move alone. So what are your guys' thoughts on this? Share your
Spike is
thoughts in the
here.
comments. Project explains XQC's work ethic.
Most automobiles need like fuel to like go forward. Felix is like the vehicle that goes forward and fuels itself off of its own kinetic energy. It's like sucking your own dick and then using your own cum as energy.
Enemy spotted
I found on the RV tree.
It doesn't like a song, does it? No one.
It is. What's up, man? When you coming back to Japan soon? Ah, the silent treatment. Politics. I hear you. Alright, we'll talk soon, but I won't touch you. Okay. I'll leave you alone.
Spike down, B.
Not the Stephen Hawking part.
So no planting?
Last player standing.
You're not supposed to bleed it.
And you get
Casual second down class.
One enemy remaining.
I think I need to Brian, what do you Miss Brian! Miss Brian! Oh! Mary, wait! There's a ball! Ah!
May the wind guide your blades, Jet, and my arrows.
Mimic has a chair.
Reloading.
They ruined this whole building. Chair works.
JTAG's a blessing.
Enough playing with our food. Hawk out!
Enemy spotted.
Barrier created.
Where are you at? Oh my god, you blew that?
Toxins going up.
Mimic comes across Pokemon in the wild.
Do not come with me anymore, ever.
Toxin screen down.
Last player standing. Flawless.
Wind, show me where to go.
No, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry.
Thank you very much. Hey, Agent comes across a crazy stream sniper.
Let me tell you something I don't know if pay attention. You and get on a twist. How is it being to you?
Enemy spotted A. Aim out.
For you.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
My ultimate is ready.
Baited that bitch.
Can't use this yet.
Get out of that! Go! Go down. I'll pick him off when he comes through.
Can't use this yet.
Throw.
Scanning ahead.
Throw.
30 seconds left.
Ramp.
Spike planted. My ultimate is ready. Toxins going up.
Look, Big Show, chat why you need to stretch.
The holes are here. Stretch.
We have 19 to
Toxin
not
screen
pick out.
down. I won't be stopped. That was good, but we are not done.
I'm going to do the same now.
Get Prime in your Mac, Pressure Seeds.
As one.
Hawk out. Enemy spotted mid. Our Siberians killed.
Spike down A.
I've got your trail.
I have the spike.
Our spike is down.
Spike down A. Last player standing.
Japan loves its plastic.
Oh, wow, they said, this is why we have plastic.
Yeah.
Plastic.
Plastic.
That has to be a better one. We didn't at least get a bag to take it out. I thought about it first. Yeah. This makes me. It's like the worst part of living here, I swear. Is
you think like if you had a bag. It's normally every household has trash. In any
30 seconds left.
My ult's ready.
It builds up the same weight as the trash.
Oh yeah, it's more.
It's crazy.
Okay, look at it. Plus this. For one salad.
Oh no. Yes, Phil. Oh, it's time. It's time.
10 seconds left.
Sure, this'll win.
This place is nice, but not nice enough to die in. Let's win and get out of here.
Since the day I had children, I dreamed of one thing. Sending them to college? Are you kidding me? No! Building the ultimate...
You're not figuring it out yet?
That's right, my friend. Under this false floor, I've got RGB cooling, 4 MSI RTX 4070 graphics, a gigantic battery bank...
Get off my ass!
...panels on the top of the flipping fan, built-in wireless networking, and... 4 high refresh rate gaming monitors, 1 for each child, and an extra. The whole thing is powered by MSI. Massive shout out to them for sponsoring this video, and we're using their Stealth laptops, which are professional enough to take to a business meeting during the day, and powerful enough to game at night, or in the back of a car. Let's
planted.
Since the last time that you guys saw the game minivan, there's been a couple of improvements. First of all, is a big safety upgrade. We have a breaker right here for the wires to the back from the battery now, not the alternator. Another thing, even solar panel.
Last player standing.
Professionally installed, so you don't have to worry about them switching off and killing someone behind you. And speaking of killing people, we need to do a lot of improvements back here. First thing, the is not attached in any way at all. So if we have a bit of a roll, we have 100 pounds of the battery connecting it. Not a big deal. That's pretty easy to fix. But all of this, you die. Getting that attached down really won't be all of that difficult. There's some nice holes through the chassis right here that we can just bolt into. Easy peasy.
Oh my god, we're doing Starlink?
Don't show that. That's kind of a bonus at the moment. If everything goes really well today, we figure that.
I see. Wait, are we gonna have a usable trunk space?
Yes, you'll have a usable trunk space.
Oh, that's a big improvement.
Yeah, and we'll have RGB fans on either side, so that we have airflow down there, of course. From there, very simple, just infinite cables as to this up, and you have a bunch of these really stupid looking seat covers that make
I know exactly where you are.
Those were like the only seat covers that were available for this band, so you can hate on them all you want, but it is in like new condition, and I have 3 kids, so...
Yeah, I'm sure that the next owners will really appreciate you taking that bullet.
They will. How about the solar panels? Can we at least keep these as is?
Oh yeah, I'm not touching those. Those were professionally installed and not my problem at all. Just plug it in.
Cool, that would be great.
Spike down
so far,
A.
All they generated for me is extra wind noise. And probably extra
Message
gas
sent.
as well, too. A bunch of dead bugs.
Last player standing.
These go on the backs of the seats using these
Wall raised.
wild adapters from Condor Blue. These are NATO rail to what was it? RE locating pin something. It slides onto here somehow, tightens on, okay, and just threads into presumably.
The fuck is that?
Yeah, we haven't totally figured out the something bit, but we have.
Just some good old hard yakka. Standing in between us
And
and
then the big
victory.
controllers, and these look awful.
Yeah, they look terrible, but hopefully you won't have to use them very much.
Oh man, that's gonna be freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a sick setup. Alright, it's time to start building, which in our shop means it's time to start 3D modeling stuff. You can see right here I have the fan cover made, but I know what you're thinking. Alex, you only installed SolidWorks on this thing because MSI sponsored the video, and you would be correct, because normally we would be doing it on this MSI laptop. As you can see, it is our top laptop, and it is incredibly dirty. We've been using it for the last couple of years, and we have, like, right here the 3D printed model for a little screwdriver making jig. This thing has been awesome for us. Unfortunately, a lot of you guys might work somewhere where a bunch of RGB like that do not fly.
What the fuck?
Just awesome. Also, 16 by 10. Absolutely love it. You can see just a little bit more vertically, and it just makes so much more sense for stuff like this. Also,
last player standing.
Really fast.
Get me out of this hell.
We move in. Got it?
I'll be leaving this game one way or another.
This is why having robots to do your stuff is so fantastic. The first prototype that we did took about an hour to get all of the setup done and everything like that. The second one took us 3 minutes and 30 seconds. We didn't even have to do anything. Of course, if you're going to replicate this at home, you don't need a big old CNC machine to make a part like
below
this.
me.
And you can buy headrest mounts off of the internet for relatively cheap, but we weren't able to get any of those here in time for when we wanted to make the video. Another huge upgrade to the router that we have is a composite nail gun, so we can just chuck a piece of plywood down and boom. Just shoot some nails into it, it'll stay there, and if the bit runs over these, since they are not metal, it's just totally fine. It just stays. Alright, have to make the plywood for the false floor.
Welcome to my world.
Yay! We've got the plywood for the top made, now I just need to make the fan mounts, and we will have RGB fans in there. We have our laptop stand here, and our piece of ABS that we have. We chose ABS,
Barrier
you can keep.
No charges left.
Don't get in my way.
Now I want to make my fan holders that are going to go on the top false floor, although it's going to be absolutely perfect, and I know this because I've already screwed it up, but it is with cardboard, so the laser cutter is absolutely incredible.
One enemy remaining.
Printer if you prefer that. So take your design and be like, wow, those holes don't line up, and then you've wasted this much scrap cardboard instead of
Don't sit down. We're not done yet.
Then you can very easily go, put them in the right spot, and be like, aha! And my expensive material, it's just gonna wait. After an hour and 40 minutes of machine time, I have my bit and I'm ready to cut out. Turns out you can make your own clips for webbing. Just like that.
I got yous, okay?
All of our aluminum parts are going to be sandblasted, which takes it from a finish like this to that. We're doing this for two reasons. For one, it looks pretty good, and also, sandblasting does not have to dry afterwards, so we don't have to waste time waiting for paint. Although the robots have done a lot of our jobs, sometimes it's easier to just do it by hand. Fan bits, get this all carpeted up, and it's going to look fantastic. I know you'll blame it on your kids, but like, back in your van sometimes. Jeez,
Copy killed.
are we ready to go? Yes, it looks absolutely beautiful.
Last player standing.
Yes.
Spike down A.
I'm confident because I have a bit of a surprise for you. We are going camping this weekend.
Oh!
So, in 2 hours, this has to be ready for me to take the kids on a road trip.
Wow, great.
But you were so confident a second ago. You said it was beautiful.
It isn't right now.
We better get started.
Let's get all of the monitors in. Everything's wired up.
Wow. We found these? This looks
Stand tall.
Yeah?
We are Valorant. We are fighters.
Lie. These mounts are freaking sick. I do want this really tight though, because if it comes loose, the monitor is going to be going all over the place. These are mobile displays, so they don't use a full-size HDMI port. That's why we got to adapt from full-size HDMI down to micro HDMI. Then we're using Type-C for power. Boop. As long as we got enough slack here.
The hunt begins!
This is going to be the best in-car entertainment system
Reveal the area.
ever.
The one in the Escalade is pretty sick.
Better than this?
You need to add the laptops, but...
Joke's over! You're dead!
On my mark.
There's no way they got that. I don't know, it's got 36 speakers.
I can use Dolby Atmos headphones.
It also comes with headphones for each person. You don't want to find out what the deal is.
Well, wait, what? Yes, I do.
That's fine.
Where is this coming from?
That's coming from...
Last player standing.
This car has a spare tire?
Yeah, this car has a spare tire.
Well, where is it?
Down here.
Oh my god, I have a spare tire. What?
That's why I said you don't want to look at it.
One day.
What? Is this Velcro tape?
No, it's loom tape. Or Tessa tape. Also, you owe me a roll of Tessa tape.
Now it's time to talk about this. You guys promised an upgraded mounting system, and I gotta say, I feel like you delivered. Laptops go here. These couple of batteries go here and here, and the best part is
Last
with
round
what
before
looks
the
like
switch.
Fairly simple Home Depot level fabrication. We get a false floor that we can actually put supplies on when we go on a road trip.
Home Depot and a CNC router, but yes. Yeah, we did make our own buckles for this, though. Those are the prototypes. But...
Those are made of wood.
Yeah, those are the prototypes.
Is there a reason we opted for the wood ones?
No, we have metal. These are just simple prototypes. You cut it on the laser first, see if it works, then you make it out of metal.
Okay.
Way easier.
Okay, but so we're gonna go with wood then? Put the metal one on.
No, Home Depot and a C. No, we have metal. These are just simple prototypes. You cut it on the laser first, see if it works, then you make it out of metal.
Okay.
Way easier.
Okay, but so we're gonna go with wood then? We're gonna put the metal one on.
I'm gonna put the metal one on.
I'm just checking. I don't take anything for granted around here. In a nutshell, this takes power from the now upgraded, because we have some problems, alternator of the vehicle, and from the solar panels that are mounted to the roof. It uses that to charge up the batteries that we're going to put on in a moment, and then outputs either AC or DC, depending on your needs. Do you need a stubby screwdriver for this by any chance? You do. Now's a perfect opportunity to promote it. My car's not back. Hey, there we go. Let's go. Stubby screwdriver. Alright. How are we bolting this to the floor exactly?
With bolts.
These look long enough to go through the bottom of my car. Exactly. Thank goodness my wife has seen none of this.
Oh, she's gonna see it and she's gonna be so impressed. The last project that she saw was the water-cooled bed, so like, her expectations are probably so low right now. Okay, so just move around the bolt until I feel it, and then we'll know. Okay, I feel. There we go.
Hey, system works. These bolts go through the battery mounts, through the bottom of the chassis, and then they're going to be nutted on from the bottom, and then, probably rusted on at some point. Hey, are we using stainless steel by any chance? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to have my feet above your face like that.
I think it's galvanized bolts, but I don't actually know. We were kind of thinking that we could upgrade them later.
Okay, cool. Why is all this stuff falling on my face right now? Ah, it's all road schmoo. Seems like it's really not going anywhere.
One of those bolts is good for about 600 pounds straight full, 120,000 PSI.
Okay.
Okay.
Batteries?
Sure.
Boom. Yeah. Battery straps installed, sir.
Next is the Wi-Fi.
Hello! We were hoping to know what to do with the Wi-Fi.
I think it's going on the top of the EcoFlow.
You think?
That was the plan last time.
Okay, so it's just this. We already have the magnets installed. We put this on top of the EcoFlow, just like boop, and we're done. Yep.
Oh, well, that's really easy then. Yeah. Now's as good a time as any to show off the product we're using. We've got early production samples of our magnetic mounts. Basically, it goes on any keyhole thing like this. Slide it in, screw it tight, and boom! Magnetic Wi-Fi router, let's go! The reason they have both VHV backing and screw holes is that the idea is that you take these, you stick them down, so you don't have to do any measuring or anything stupid like that. Then, you slide it off and screw them in. Or, if you happen to be attaching to a power hub, you just don't screw it in. Yay. What was the point of building fancy Wi-Fi 6E into this thing, MSI, when we were just going to use wires anyway? Got him. What's next?
A stupid plan.
Oh no.
It's not actually that stupid.
It seems to involve a hammer, so it's going to be at least a little stupid.
Hammer and these nicely modified bolts.
You just invented a metal pointy stick.
Yes.
A really short one. Oh my god, I think I see where this is going.
We have these posts.
Yes, I see that.
We have this plate.
So we just screw these in, and then they're pointy on the top.
Yep.
And then we just whack it.
Yep. And then we have our holes. Or we drill the holes after.
Oh, this is just to mark the location. That's actually way less stupid than you made it seem. You know how long I've wanted to do this? I think this first made its way into the dock before you worked here.
Yeah, I think so.
What could go wrong? Okay, well there's that one. There's that one.
Yep.
Nailed it. I mean, hammered it. They were bolts. Guys, I couldn't help noticing that all the computers go in the back under a false floor.
Yeah.
How do we turn them on? Oh my god. Are you memeing right now, or did you actually not think?
I did not think of that at all.
Oh god.
We turn them on and put them down there, I guess.
They only ever go to sleep. If the kids shut down the computers, sorry kids, no gaming. We're gonna need a better solution for this in the long term, but it ain't happening today.
Anyway, have you seen these knobs?
This is the problem with engineers, okay? They build you the finest knob, and then, yes, you 3D printed the knob with an LTT logo on it. You did good. How do I turn on the computer, Alex? This is why, like it or not, they do still need me here.
What?
Oh, just to think of little details, like how to reach a power button.
You just take the false floor. I did think of how to properly control the RGB, so you can connect it to the player 1 computer with this little hub right here, and then you can have fan speed control based off of that computer, and also control the RGB in your trunk.
We've actually got 2 different computers for the setup, but they're not as different as you might think. We've got the Stealth 16 Studio and the Stealth 14 Studio, and then we've also got the Stealth 16 Studio in white. Okay, they really did send us quite the variety pack here. The point is...
This one's an engineering sample. We can't actually game on it.
We can't?
No.
Oh, okay. The point is, the ones we can game on have Core i7 processors, RTX 4070 graphic. Okay. Cool. All the connectivity we need, Steel Series keyboards. That looks like a really bright, vibrant display. Do you have specs for that? Oh, sick. Not that I'll be using it, but cool. And look at that! The team preloaded some games. We got Vampire Survivors, Dirt 2, Overcooked. Because I need my kids playing Overcooked in the car. Oh good, that'll help with squabbling. Don't touch the right! I'm in charge of right! We got a little confused by one of MSI's talking points for these laptops. They say it has a vapor chamber cooling design to unleash the maximum performance, but then a separate one says it has a heat pipe cooling design to unleash the maximum performance. It turns out it has both. So, cool. I don't really care how they do it, as long as we get these installed, and they're able to stay cool and run at full performance in a fairly restrictive environment. They're going to go like this, with the smaller one toward the back, and the bigger one toward the, there we go, front of the vehicle. And the idea is that even though they're different sizes, now they are at about the same height. So when we put the false floor on, we should have plenty of clearance. One concern is this top of it's getting like beat up going in and out. I think we're going to put some kind of rubber thing here, but one of their other talking points for this is that it's extremely fingerprint resistant, which so far it actually seems to be holding up pretty well in spite of my fingers being absolutely grody right now. Man, the back of this looks freaking awesome. Yeah. Those are chunky HDMI cables.
Yeah, want as much signal integrity as we can before we go with that stupid adapter micro HDMI.
That's fair. Split setting. It should be duplicated.
There we go!
Hey! Nice! Okay, and then I close this, and nothing happens, right?
Yay!
Okay. Fantastic. Okay, where's that power squid getting?
I was kind of thinking that we could sort of tie it down to the strap, sort of like there somewhere. What do you guys need help with now?
You just got something pawned off to you.
And where's this going?
This is a touchscreen that is to like monitor and control the whole thing back here, the EcoFlow.
Okay.
So it kind of goes where the driver can see it and touch it. Okay. Ah, good luck. In our perfect world, the plan was kind of here.
Oh wait, we could just ruin your phone now and attach to that. We could just put it in the middle. Yeah.
How will I Google Maps though?
For Android Auto?
This is the 2016, sir. I do not have Android Auto. That's why I have a phone now. Let's just chuck it in the center console. Yay! It probably occurred to some of you that it might make more sense to do something like this with mini PCs rather than laptops, both from a cost and practicality perspective. But what you can't do with mini PCs is haul them all out when you reach your destination, and then, you know, game on.
I have some bad news.
Oh my god, there's no headrests in that style in the middle seats.
They are not style. They're very slightly different. They are about a 1/4 inch difference. So even if you like hold them up to one each other, they look the same until you do it like here, because it's just ever so slightly different. There we go. RGB power.
We've spotted an enemy submarine.
It looks like it should work.
One of our stretch goals is Starlink Internet. It's already, I think, an hour and a half past land show. It doesn't seem like a good time to be attacking stretch goals, but like, Sebastian was looking for something to do, and I thought I'd help.
Got nothing better to try.
Okay, let's try. It's really big.
It's really big.
Is this the like business, like you can use it anywhere one or whatever?
I have no idea.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Ah.
Okay, when I plug this in, we should have fans. There we go.
All my controllers and everything are paired. We're just about ready to close it up. But we haven't dealt with networking yet. And oh, I was about to say, the 13-inch ones don't have Ethernet jacks, but USB-C to easy. Okay. Alright. See you later, Alex. Bye. A wild Luke and Dan appear. Luke's helping now. Yeah. It magically worked! Guess we're just gonna keep screwing it on in spite of that.
Cool. You need something to stop you, whatever it is. If you press into that...
A rubber stopper.
Okay, well what I can do on my trip is I can just wedge something into this corner.
You just need another post or something to hold it.
And then...
A rubber chopper or a
How
spacer.
professional does that look once we cover it all up? I say very. Should we see if we can get any power to the solar?
Sure.
Okay, let's pull it out of here. Hey!
134.
Okay. You know what's funny is what I was expecting was a couple of mirrored displays, one system, and then just like they all have to play the same game. This is absolutely wild. Everyone can be doing completely their own thing. Oh yeah, there's headphones. We have headsets. We are clearly not doing that today. I mean, these also have built-in speakers, so I guess that's fine too for now. Sick! Oh no, there's headphone jacks! Hey Luke, do you want to grab the EcoFlow thing and see how much power we're drawing now that Dan and Sebastian are both playing games?
Yeah. Output 330 watts.
Shoot, is my son playing Rocket League right now? Hey, I'm just gonna beat him. Sorry, sweetie. He's probably just gonna...
Rocket League, he might have been in a ranked match.
He's probably in a ranked match.
Oh.
I know, I'm a terrible father. Okay, seatbelts, everyone. It's road trip time, boys. Gotta set a good example for the people. Isn't it awesome?
So you can actually adjust the amperage, I think.
Yes.
The menu?
You can.
Oh, yeah, turn up the amperage.
Pick that up. And we'll just crank this up to how much?
Double it.
If it breaks the car.
Double it,
Say,
you wimps.
Input 400 watts.
Alright! Frickin' it!
And it doesn't really change if you rev or not, so we're pretty much green.
This is awesome! Okay, I'm gonna steal Creator Warehouse Engineering for more projects. I know that's not what I'm supposed to do, but,
Hey, they're your employee.
this is awesome. Yeah, but they work for a different company. That's, like, really not how that works. Who do you think I am? You know, Elon Musk bringing in Tesla engineers at Twitter? Those fans are going back there, hey? Well, I think that's the laptops.
Oh, the laptop fans. Yeah, they're probably
Should we check our thermals?
86.
Okay. That's more than reasonable.
That's not bad at all, actually.
How's our GPU doing? Hotspot maxed out at 70, no, 80. That's great. This is awesome news. Don't mind me casually sitting in the van getting ready for our trip the next day. And look, what's this? 250 watts of solar charging right now? 300 watts from solar. Hey, Kitty Biz. Traffic can't ruin our day.
How was your camping trip? Did you love it?
It went great. It was pretty much like this. They played games in the car, which kept them nice and quiet. And then, we arrive at the campsite, pull out the Starlink, got the 4-laptop LAN party. We didn't even need to pull out the Wi-Fi router because, as it turns out, you can all just hotspot to the Starlink and you're good to go. And, okay, yeah, I guess you guys are all connected already. Alex is playing Rocket League. Really? You're playing Overcooked by yourself? Yeah. That's kind of weird. I mean, it's fun. It makes sense. But the whole thing unpacked and is ready to go in about 6 minutes. Freaking awesome. But to take it to the next level, Starlink, kind of the star of the show here. We have a single session of Ultimate Chicken Horse going right now with all 4 players in it. Get this, using Steam Remote Play. And guys, I mean, is it working? Everyone go to the farm. I'm ready.
Doing great. How did I die?
Fuck, type to the face. There's a significant host advantage, I'm not gonna lie. Man, my hockey puck gift keeps on giving, man. Whoa, you Snake almost ate the puck! Eat the puck, Snake! This is so much better than real camp. And this might just be the ultimate gaming minivan. You don't even have to sit in the minivan. Take the whole thing out. It's like, seriously, I cannot believe how well this is performing. The fact that you guys are able to play this game at all using Steam Remote Play on satellite internet like this.
I can't believe that we can see the screens. There's the sun behind us. I honestly thought that we just kind of had to fake it.
Oh, yeah, I had trouble with it.
Yeah, it's actually great.
Super awesome. I'm dead.
Oh, I died too.
Not that it matters. I'll be getting plenty of opportunities to play with this, and it is every bit as fun as it looks, because, let you guys know a secret, there were some delays. I've actually had this installed in my van for like 6 weeks now, and it's been amazing. If you guys enjoyed this video, hey, you might enjoy the last time we did a video in a car. Alex, any thoughts?
ER Corolla.
Sports.
Sure, how about just a review of a car? Hello everyone, this is your David Isamaru.
My mom was online to get an MBA, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. What's that stand for? Master?
In business administration? Are you fucking kidding me? What's that stand for? Absolute fuck.
We found some weird problems in Counter-Strike 2, namely, the 13900K has a surprisingly bad frame time consistency as compared to lower spec parts, like the 13700K and the 13600K. It's not terrible, but it's a unique problem, and we were able to diagnose it in the course of testing today, so we have not only the problem, but an explanation of what's causing it. There's also some interesting data for the X3D cache-heavy CPUs. So owners of the 5800 X3D especially would probably be pretty happy with the overall performance that we're seeing. But because of the game launching in effectively a playtesting beta state, you may not have had the cleanest experience at launch. It does appear that Valve is working on it. So today we're doing CPU benchmarks. This will accompany our GPU benchmarks in Counter-Strike 2. And we're kind of done with testing the games for a little bit, and we're switching over fully to some hardware reviews because we're going to let Counter-Strike 2, we're going to let it bake a little longer with the updates before we revisit this one. Before that, this video is brought to you by Thermal Grizzly and the CryoSheet graphene pads. These CryoSheets are molecularly stacked on the Z-axis to encourage vertical direct thermal transfer from the IHS to the cooler. CryoSheet pads are made to be easily applicable for a thermal interface and completely avoid paste dryout because it's not paste. It makes them particularly useful for long service life systems with minimal maintenance. They come in multiple sizes for suitability on the most common laptops and desktop CPUs, and you can learn more at the Thermal Grizzly CryoSheets at the link in the description below. So Counter-Strike's been
welcome everyone on a perfect night for football with the floodlights beaming down. I'm Derek Ray, ready here in the commentary position, and alongside me is the former Arsenal, West Ham and Coventry midfielder Stuart Robson. And it really is an intriguing proposition from the point of view of promotion. That could be their reward today, depending upon circumstances. It is Bayern Munich against England.
Well, Derek, a win here and they'll be up. And you have to say they fully deserve it. They've been so consistent.
So, far from perfect still, but we have some numbers where...
Well, here is the Bayern side. Sven Ulreich starts in goal.
Derek, there's a chance here.
Oh, not to be. An opportunity wasted early in the game.
Well, maybe it's come a little bit too early, Derek. That's a wasteful finish.
In this case, that matters.
Mane.
Some of the initial data was collected on October 2nd, but the bulk of it
Choupo-Moting. High and more than a bit hopeful.
Not all the updates appeared to have detailed patch notes. We ran validation tests, and we saw a little change overall for some benchmarking from one game version to the next. As a validation test, what that means
Well, so much to like about Serge Gnabry. He can pop up in attacking positions, he can score goals. Stuart, what do you anticipate seeing from him today?
Well, it's his ability with the ball at his feet that makes him such a good player. He can go past defenders with...
Oh, they could be in here, Stuart!
Or we saw some of the 40-70 because...
Gnabry? Can he play it in?
That said, we're still forced to run a code package for this data set. We prefer not
Under real pressure here.
But that's the state of Valve moving too fast or too otherwise. This will be our last set of CSP benchmarks for now. The next time you see this game pop up, it will be either in our
Sterling.
suite or our GPU
Now Harry Kane.
As far as standalone,
Trippier.
plus there's some kind of massive change.
He's going forward well here.
So, with all that, that's going to be the benchmarks. And of course, the
Delivering it into the box.
explain to you what it's causing.
Well, nothing untoward happened.
The first thing we noticed was that X3D does really well in our testing. The X3D CPUs demonstrated a noticeably higher
Plenty of
frame rate,
forward
despite
momentum
their
here,
data
but can they
scaling
produce?
under our
Alas, he's made his move too early. Offside.
The 7800 X3D's 398 FPS average was matched closest by the 5800.
He's going to be disappointed with that pass.
Indicating an advantage for the X3D cache. The 7800 X3D CPU then leads the 7700X by about 2.8%. And the 5800 XP gap to 5800
a lovely ball.
by 5.4%. Now at this point, the question remains of whether or not
There's no way.
Look at 1080p medium. Before we get there, though, the 13900K has some
No
particular
fucking
pass
way.
These were repeatable across multiple passes, specifically at 1080p low settings, but we also did passes with Vulkan at 720p and saw similar. Considering the whole chart for a second, though, we'll come back to the 13.9. The game is highly playable on all of these CPUs, even in more intensive areas. We're still at 200 FPS on the R5 2600, and any issues with lows are more related to the game itself right now than a CPU fault, although there are things you can do with the CPUs to try and remedy them. In terms of pure latency, at a professional or at least a top percentile level, you might notice a difference between. So wrapping up, although Valve has definitely improved some of the performance, the main things we learned here are, there's a couple of them. The first one is that the Vulkan renderer really is underperforming. So maybe there's a situation where it works better than DX11 with a certain set of hardware, but for what we've tested it on, it does appear that Vulkan as a renderer kind of right now is a lower performer than DirectX. So we would default to DirectX. And then E-cores are about that, some of the at least in our tax scenario. The qualifier here is changing so much that it's hard to have the same normal low to high confidence that you might have a more stable game. But E-cores, we definitely saw a repeat problem on this. Okay, turn them off, fix the problem, and boost the frame time massively, particularly effective. So that one is not really a workaround other than it doesn't make any plans to work off. Otherwise, that by not turning them off, starting to pay for off. X3D definitely does something here. The 5800 XTD on her, 700 XTD on her. It appears in our testing that there's a bit of an advantage there. And we also did a quick check of CP Busy with the 700 XTD data. We ran those numbers in the deal that we were actually still technically CP down on the 700 XTD number close. So the actual total frame time was about 2 milliseconds or so longer than the CP Busy time. So there's a little bit of room there to work. In other words, it was 280 as a down or down by something other than but it was something close to that. Here's the saw some videos about some of the biggest customer service. It's high end numbers different. People even still produce something that have an income liability. So, that's it for this one. Overall, it's going pretty well. Everything is saturated. And it's going pretty well here. The relative ones in there. It's just that print. That's what they've done for us. Takes a while to cut back for some other reviews coming up. We'll start for that. Or go to store.cameratexas.net. Of course, directly. Patreon.com/cameratexas. And you throw us $2 if you like to.
The title of this video is not clickbait. This is literally the most unexpected problem that I have ever experienced in my 37 years of building computers. Hey, Day. Day. Day.
What?
You got work, dude.
Yeah, I'm playing World of Warships. World of Warships is a free-to-play naval strategy game where you command the most iconic famous warships from World War I and World War II, recreated in stunning detail and build your fleet from participating in various game types or upgrading your ship's arsenal along the way. New players who sign up using my link below will receive an exclusive starter pack to get you up and running quickly by receiving 7 days premium time, 1 million credits, 300 balloons, and a tier 5 premium ship. What are you guys waiting for? Start sinking ships and moving warships by heading to the 50 below and getting your preview.
Alright, so if you haven't watched the good. Yeah. If you haven't watched the build video on this. So what this is Phil's NRP 200 Max build that we did for him a couple of years ago. And then it's had a few iterations since then. Did 9900K and everything, and then he upgraded to the 13700K. He then went from the 3080 to the 3090 Founders Edition. And then for a while there, I joked, I was like, hey, we should water cool this system. Okay, and I was like, fine. And then a while went by, this week I was like, hey, let's do a water-cooled build. So many things. Why can't it ever get too easy? So I still got it done within 24 hours of starting the whole build in assembly. And then I was dealing with trying to get it bled, which is a pain in the butt. There's no reservoir in this system, but I finally got it bled by having kind of created a couple of penises on the thing, basically, but I don't know how else to describe it. Anyway, physics. I understood enough of the water cooling physics to figure it out, got it bled, and I was like, yo, come check it out! And it shut off. And I'm like, power button, nothing. So that tells me it went into some sort of an OCP. What I heard was it goes like a big click when it does it. That click is the breaker built into the power supply that can tell when something's not right with the electrical system, and rather than having the system fry itself, it tries to save it by tripping that breaker. Now it's a time breaker, which means it takes enough time of not being energized for it to fry. So that tells me it went into some sort of an OCP, because an overcurrent protection. Because I understood enough of the water cooling physics to figure it out, got it bled, and I was like, Phil, come check it out! And it shut off. And I'm like, hit the power button, nothing would happen. No, I'm gonna try right now.